Hey everyone, Val here, and it is time for my weekly weigh-in and a reading from my book, Life is Long. So, you're going to have to wait for the weigh-in. I'm going to read my chapter. And this is chapter number 41, and it is called Mindfully Create Your Food Commandments. Alright, so let's see what they're talking about. Alright, it says, here's a quick quiz, okay? Do you tend to stop eating when, number one, you're feeling full because you've eaten mindfully, or your plate is empty because you're not paying attention to your thoughts and your body signals? So what are you doing? Are you eating mindfully, or are you just eating and not paying attention to your body signals? Maybe you're distracted. Maybe you're just programmed to eat that way from childhood. I remember in childhood we had to finish everything on our plate, so it's programmed into your heads. Even if you didn't like it, you had to eat it. And I found myself doing that yesterday too, because Steve brought me some Ritz crackers and some cheese, a different kind of cheese, and I didn't really like the taste of the cheddar. It really, to me, wasn't a good cheese. And I'm not I don't eat the Ritz crackers because I'd rather eat the Triscuits, but because he brought them to me, I ate it, even though it wasn't something I really was enjoying. I was hungry because we were outside, and we've been sitting out a while, and so yeah, it was good to have a little snack. But is it a snack I would have prepared for myself? No. Did I eat it? Yes, because I guess I just thought he was being kind and he did it, and I didn't want to insult him, but also it was food put in front of me, and it's programmed into your mind. You don't like it, it doesn't matter, eat it anyway, so that wasn't a choice I would have made normally. So if the latter is your your health is at risk because you're zoned out and you're making stupider healthy choices. So yeah, maybe I was zoned out a little bit. Maybe it's because of programming. Maybe I was hungry and I just ate what was available to me. And we do that a lot of times too, is instead of thinking ahead and preparing a lunch that's healthy to take with you to work, you just go to whatever's closest and quickest, and maybe even cheapest, and end up eating junk food. So it's lack of preparation, lack of time programming. I think a lot of it plays into what we choose for our food choices. Oh, so it's saying Brian Wensink, PhD, has conducted studies at Cornell University showing how and why people wind up overstuffing themselves. He's famous for fooling subjects into consuming multiple quarts of soup because he fed them from trick bottomless bowls. They kept mindfully spooning up their soup without even realizing their tummies were full. The cure to mindless eating. Dr. Wensink suggests creating an ongoing food policy of what I feel like to refer to as my personal food commandments. A list of intentions I remember before every meal to stick with. Feel free to use them on your own. And there's some suggestions here. And last night, Steve and I went out to dinner, and I have a little video on that that's going to be coming up. And we had seafood, and we love crab legs, and we love steamed shrimp. And we were talking about, going down to Captain George's in Williamsburg and going to the seafood buffet. But after I ate one cluster of the crab legs and some steamed shrimp, I was feeling really full. And I can't imagine eating like I used to eat, where I just keep eating and eating and eating because it tastes good. In this instance, going to a buffet, I know I would overstuff because I'd want to try everything on there, and by the time you come back with different plates of different selections and you've eaten most on your plate, you're way overeating in places like that. Not to say I'm not going to do it, because I do enjoy doing it, and once in a while, maybe once a year or something like that, I don't think that's terrible. But the feeling of being, oh my gosh, I overate, I'm stuffed, I don't like feeling like that anymore, where you just can't even function because you've eaten too much food. But I used to do that all the time and not even think twice about doing that. So it says through Shav, it says, remember every meal. Okay, it says, let me go back and read this over. Dr. Weinsink suggests creating an ongoing food policy and what I like to refer to as my personal food commandments. So it's talking about food commandments. A list of intentions I remember before every meal and stick to it. So it's saying, number 1 is, thou shalt put down every fork every minute or so while eating and take full pleasure in my food. All right, so eat your food slower. Because I've heard that like 20 minutes, and 20 minutes is a signal to your stomach that you're full. So if you eat slower, you put down your fork, maybe you talk and you're having conversation with somebody. Within 20 minutes, you're going to feel like you're full and you haven't eaten as much. The second one is, thou shalt take time to do a quick check-in with your body 10 minutes into the meal. So 10 minutes into the meal, you maybe have been eating quick and eating a lot. Maybe you have someplace to go or something to do. You're trying to rush through your meal. After 10 minutes, stop and say, am I full? Or do I need to keep eating for 10 more minutes till my 20 minutes is up? That's a good one. Number 3, thou shalt eat only raw vegetables and hummus in front of the TV and never chips. Oh, yeah. I don't try to eat anything in front of the TV anymore. Of course, I don't really watch TV, but with the computer on, I'm watching movies, doing the computer. I try to keep my hands busy doing crafts and knitting. That way, I'm not trying to be snacking on anything. Now, if I do feel like I'm hungry or something, maybe I'll go in and get a yogurt bar or maybe a handful of crackers. I'll measure them out. I'll weigh them out and count them into my calorie counter. But I'm not bringing the whole box of crackers or chips or whatever in to eat in front of the TV, because you can just tend to keep eating and not even realize after a few minutes you've eaten the whole bag. All right, thou shalt be the first person to order. Thou shalt be the first person to order in the restaurant to avoid the temptation of copy others' unhealthy food choices. That's a good idea too. I like that, because somebody might say, oh, I'm going to have an appetizer and then a soup and a salad, and I'm going to have this and I'm going to have that, and let's order dessert, and you don't need to have all those things. Steve and I did have nachos yesterday, because we do like our nachos, but I say to myself now, I'm going to eat a certain amount of nachos, because I know with my calorie counter how many nachos I can have and how many calories that's going to be. And then you got to factor in the toppings. Are you going to have the sour cream? Are you going to have the they didn't put ground beef on the nachos yesterday, but they did have some cheese and lettuce and tomatoes. Lettuce and tomatoes are healthy food, so I don't worry too much about those. And the amount of cheese that was on the nachos wasn't even enough to worry about. So just really counting the nachos yesterday was all I really needed to do. All right, so the next one is, thou shalt never eat pretzels directly from the bag or ice cream directly from the pint. Instead, thou shalt put portion control quantities directly into the bowl. So you're going to portion it out. And I agree with that. Portion control is really, really important. I'm not as good at that as I should be, because everything takes time. It takes time to portion things out. And normally when I'm eating or getting ready to eat, I'm doing it rushed. So, am I estimating, is this a cup? Is this 2 cups? I tend to try to put healthier things into like my spaghetti sauces and stuff like that. And instead of eating a bowl of spaghetti, I sauteing some zucchini up and putting a few pieces of pasta in with it and eating mostly the zucchini with the homemade pasta sauce on top of it. It's homemade. I know that it doesn't have sugar in it. I know it doesn't have additives and preservatives in it. It's just plain tomatoes with some spices in it. So I know that my tomato sauce is healthy and it doesn't have sugar in it. It's not loaded with all those extra things because I make it myself. Alright, so it's saying thou shalt identify the emotional state when feeling hungry, and make sure it's not sadness or stress that's inspiring eating a bowl of chips. So why are you eating? You got to evaluate why you're eating. Are you eating because you're hungry? Are you eating because you're bored? Are you eating because you're sad or angry? A lot of times if I get like frustrated with something, it's like, forget it, I'm just gonna go get something to eat, you know, and I'm not even hungry, I'm just frustrated. So I try to keep that in check too now. I'm really working on it. So are you? Is that one thing that you struggle with? And let me know, what are some of the things you struggle with? The last one is thou shalt drink a glass of water when feeling hungry, and make sure it's not merely dehydration that's inspiring eating a bowl of pretzels. Well, I don't think if you're dehydrated, pretzels is going to help you out, because there's so much salt on pretzels that that could really mess you up. So I do know I am trying to drink more water. I'm tracking my water now too. So hopefully it's helping. Let's see if anything that I'm trying is helping, because I'm using my Fitness Pal now. I'm back to doing that. I used to do that. It did help me before. And that's all I'm using now is my Fitness Pal. It's a free app on your phone, and you can get the advanced version and pay for it. But all I really need is the version that comes, that you can download on the phone, and it doesn't cost you anything. So how did I do? Last week's weigh-in was 196.6. This week's weigh-in is 196.2. I had a really big loss like 3 weeks ago, so I wasn't expecting a huge loss. I think there was, no, that was the week before. I don't remember if there was anything in my week that may have caused me to hold on to more weight. I don't think I made a lot of bad choices, of course. And you know, as long as they fit into your calorie count and not, you know, take you over your calorie count, or not take you over a lot of fat and sugars in your calorie count, I think that it's okay. I've been staying within my calorie range. If I'm counting my calories correctly and getting the right portion sizes into my Fitness Pal. That's another challenge, is the calorie count correct? So that's another challenge that I have. If it's packaged food, I can get it off the packaged food that says one portion is 14 crackers and it's this many calories. My calorie counter takes that really well, as far as it can identify the product from scanning the barcode. But if it's like a banana or an apple, you know, do I have the right calorie count? A medium apple, or a you know, specific kind of an apple. Or if it's a stir fry, I can scan the barcode on the vegetables, but if they're fresh vegetables, they may not have barcodes on them. So I just have to put in there, you know, snow peas or whatever, and it'll pick up the closest that it can come up with. If it's a restaurant, if I'm eating at a restaurant, if the menu has calories on it, then I can take the calories off the menu. But if it doesn't, like last night, there was no calorie counts on the menu, so I just had to put a pound of snow crab legs, and it gives you different choices. you know, some have more calories than others, so it's really hard to tell if it's 100% accurate. I know that it's not. There's error in everything that you do, so it's not always 100%. So anyway, going back to it, I was 196.6 last week. This week I weighed in at 196.2. So I did have a loss of 0.4, which I'm happy with. That's fine. I'm going in the right direction. I didn't have a gain, so I'm good with that. So looking back at the beginning of the year last year, I was at 205.6, or actually 206. So I am now at 196. So I have a good 10-pound loss within this year. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to keep going. I do have a vacation coming up to visit my family in northern New York in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to keep on trying to get the pounds off because but my sister that I'm staying with cooks really healthy. So I will try to make the right choices and not put on any weight. She's lost a lot of weight, but she's had some health issues also. So we'll see what happens. That's my reading for today, and that's my weigh-in. And let me know how you've done for the week, and if there's any food challenges that this book brought up that you struggle with, because I think we're all in the same boat. So, or if you have any hints, give me those suggestions too. You know, I can use all the suggestions I can get. I need to take off at least 20 more pounds. So help me out. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to. And we'll catch you on the next video. Have an awesome week. Bye now.